Okay. Provident fund contribution.
Yes, provident fund contribution. Yes. So before we start, can anyone tell what is the PF? You must be knowing the basic of it. What is PF and all before we go to technicality of it?
Okay. I haven't studied much about this, but
in general, just tell me. Just no, do not go very technical. Just what you understand by this contribution. Any?
Like a provident fund means it's a type of the contribution for an employee. Yeah, like when they are going to retire or when they are leaving their jobs, they will get some money after leaving the job because
yes,
they work for the organization, right?
Yes.
So as per the government statutory rules, it's allotted this provident fund.
If a person change his job, applicable his new job amount.
Okay. Okay. So I will just come to the point. So provident fund or PF, it is known as popularly known as a PF. People call it PF, provident fund. It is a statutory contribution scheme. Okay, so that is the word which I was looking for. It is actually statutory contribution scheme. Okay, by the government. Okay, and by which your employees and employers. Okay, just again I'll repeat. By which employees and employers contribute to a fund is a form of investment. Okay, so this is the definition. By anyway, I'll be sharing the slides. I'm not focusing on the slides because these days I focus more towards hands-on. But anyway, I'll be sharing one after completion of this entire 10 Infotypes 580 to 590 entire series. Again, I'll be doing a recap with using slides. Okay, so at that point of time, you'll be getting all those exact definition of all these things. Anyway, that will be good for reading. Okay. But at present, I'll be focusing more on the hands-on part. So provident fund, again, I will repeat, provident fund is a statutory contribution scheme by the government by which employees and employers, both, they will be contributing to a fund as a form of investment. Okay, so that is a definition of a provident fund. Okay, so here we will be seeing in this info, also from SAP point of view, Infotype 587 actually contains your details about the provident fund and pension fund. Also, you'll be finding towards the end, and just scroll a bit down, you can see there is a pension thing also. Did you see that? No. Here, in the same screen, in the Infotype itself, scroll a bit down. You can see pension, employers details, pension fund, contribution towards pension scheme, and also you can see the NPS. NPS also you can see it here. Okay, new pension scheme, NPS. Okay, so now what we will be trying to do here. Okay, so just I will explain one by one. Just go a bit up. So now here in this, only one exception is there. Okay, the only exceptions are employees who are in their first job and also whose basic salary is 6,500 or more and who have not opted not to contribute. Okay, suppose somebody's salary is 6,500 or more basic salary. When I say salary, that's the basic I'm talking about. Okay, and who have opted not to contribute. That generally doesn't happen. Okay, so in those cases, PF will not be applicable. Otherwise, it is applicable more or less. And also, there are some specific rate also. Okay, and if you would like to contribute beyond the statutory rate, it is not always compulsory. Okay, So then that will be known as a BPF. So in this, you will be seeing another section called BPF. It's a voluntary provident fund. Okay. So here you can see in the provident fund section, second section. Okay. BPF percentage or BPF amount. Okay. Suppose so in the general information, you'll be finding 4 things here. One is a provident fund trust ID. Another is a pension trust ID. And the third one is PF number, which is having a particular format. Then we'll be having also pension number. Okay. So these 4 things we do have in a general information. So provident fund, you just try, go to provident fund trust ID. Srikant.
Okay, yeah.
First.
You can see, so whatever you have configured, the configuration part will be coming later. So if you have somebody have already configured, you can see if somebody has written Chinese, Japanese, I can't understand. So you can select RPFC, which is, you can understand. RPFC Bombay, okay. So that is actually Regional Provident Fund Office. So generally it can be configured. Suppose you are having some specific, suppose we are having a provident fund in Gurgaon or in Guntur, nearby in Andhra you are having. So that also you can configure. So it is, I think it is not configured in the system. For that reason it is not coming. Okay. So provident fund trust ID, and similarly the pensions also mention the name you have to mention. So basically PF trust ID, this field will be used for where contribution towards your PF are deposited. Okay, so it will be deducted from your salary and your employer will be depositing that contribution into that particular trust. Okay, so that is the why. So here provident trust ID is also maintained. And some of the organizations, especially which some of the organizations, what they do, they have their own trust. Okay, it is not always necessary that you have to send it to the government trust. Some of the organizations, actually in one of the organizations which I have worked for in my previous organizations, basically they had their own trust. Okay, and they do all their calculations and they invest in the market by taking our money, and at latter point of time while changing the company, they will be again be sending that. Okay, so that kind of also possibilities are there. So the PF trust ID, it can be the government one or it can be private managed by the company itself. Okay, both kind of scenarios are possible. Okay, so depending upon your requirement, again you have to talk to your HR or payroll administrator. Again, if you are working for an implementation project, then you have to configure it accordingly. This point is clear?
Yes.
Okay, so this is regarding provident fund trust ID. So similarly, pension trust ID also very similar, nothing much different. Okay, so you have to mention the name of the pension trust where exactly contribution or towards the pensions are deposited by the employer. Okay, so in this field, when it comes to pension trust ID, there is an exception. You can't select an exempted or excluded trust. Okay. So you have to always, so there can be some trust which can be exempted or it can be excluded. Those kind of trust you can't maintain. So only thing is which is there where the organization is contributing or depositing the amount, okay, only those trusts. So in a simple word, so you have to always talk to your, so this is just even if it's for information purpose, okay. So directly you have to talk to your finance or talk to your payroll administrator. Part of the trusts are maintained, so that here you have to maintain for all employees. So this is your Infotype 587 general information regarding the trust. Okay, this is a generic one. Now we'll be coming to the 2 number here. One is a provident fund number and pension number. So how these 2 are different? So these 2 will be specific for the employee. Okay. So PF, what is the difference between the upper 2 and lower 2? Any guess?
Pension will come completed. Hello.
Yes, go ahead, Lakshmi. Shrikant, any guess?
Yes, sir.
54 years after it will come.
Okay, no, I will then answer to it. So basically the top two, whatever you are seeing, PF trust ID and pension trust ID, those are general in specimens for the employer. Okay, for every employee it will be more or less same. Okay, but the lower two, PF number and pension number, will be unique to the employee. Okay, so that is the key difference between this four field. Out of that, top two are means general, and below two are actually specific for the employee. Okay, so when you say provident fund number, so you have a specific format here: XX/XXX, then again 999/999. What does it represent? It represents the four section. First one is the state code, then district code, then establishment code, then employee code. Okay, so you'll be having this kind of number. Okay, so we can also put an F1 help. You will be getting the idea of what is the format is supporting. Oh, I think it is not explained here, so I just explained it. But actually, if you would like to understand that, also you can get in the PF website. You can get detail about it. Okay, so anyway, so similar to the pension number, here you can store. There's no such format, but it will be like employees pension trust account number. Okay, that you can maintain. Okay, and PPF is optional. Now, if you understand this one. The next one, PPF percentage. It can be percentage. Suppose if you are talking about, say, every year, every month, you like to contribute on a voluntary basis over and above your standard contribution. So upper one is the standard PF contribution, and after that deduction, if you like to contribute something beyond that, you can decide the provident fund PPF. It can be up to you. So is the organized. If you are allowing like every month you like to contribute 5,000. Okay, so that. So then in that case, PPF amount will be, you have to maintain 5,000 INR. Okay. So what you can do, it should not be both. Hello. I think I got disconnected. I got disconnected in between. Yes. Now can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So in the PPF percentage, you can, in this case, you try for the first PPF amount. In this case, you can maintain, and for another employee, you can try PPF percentage. Okay, in this way, you can test it. Okay, for this, for understanding, just put an amount here. Okay, PPF amount you can put up like 2,000, something like that.
Okay, sir. How much percentage?
Percentage do not require, so it can be either percentage or the amount, not the both. Okay. So you can try another scenario like where exactly maintain. Okay. So now you can go down, go to employer's detail. Okay. So in this case, employer's detail, you have something called basis for contribution. Okay. So PF basis. So what we understand by PF basis? So that means which are all the wage types which will the amount will be considered for your PF calculations. Okay, so that is known as a PF basis. Okay, so generally employer has every employer have the statutory contribution to contribute towards PF. Okay, and which amount they have to do? So the amount which is actually so they will be, what they will do, this PF basis, it will be multiplied by the statutory percentage, whatever the statutory percentage is given by the government. Okay, so that you have to multiply using this PF basis. Okay, but anyway, the employer, the organization who under whom where exactly the employee is working, they have the option to choose like whether it is eligible pay or PF basis, whichever is less. So you have to again for discussing these things, you have to talk to your organization like the payroll administrator, which calculation they are doing, whether it is eligible pay or PF basis, whichever is less, or it is always PF basis. Okay, so that thing you have to talk to during your implementation. So you have to talk to your payroll manager or payroll administrator. Okay, so that is the idea regarding this PF basis. But we'll be understanding this whenever we'll be running the payroll and again. Okay, so for the time being, you can choose PF basis. Okay, And similarly for pension also, you can mention PF basis.
Pensioners PF basis. Okay.
PF basis you can do, and similarly for NPS, you can put it like eligible for NPS. Again, when it comes to NPS, we have two types: employee NPS, employer NPS. Okay, so in those cases, so if you can put both. Okay, you can put like NPS percentage 10%, you can put it, or okay, and both the percentage you can put, and whenever you're testing for the second time, you can try for some other employee and maintain NPS amount. Okay, now you just try to save it.
Oh.
Okay, so what it is saying,
Pension
please enter
details.
all pension details. Now, yeah, now you tick that.
Contribution rules.
Yes. Now you try to save it. You're able to save it. Yes, perfectly
Yes, sir,
fine.
done.
Okay.
Yes.
So now what we will try to understand, now you can run the simulation payroll for this employee and identify which are the wage types getting generated. How will understand which is the PF related thing?
Again, EPF, right, sir?
Yeah, your guess is correct. INEPF is the function.
Okay.
Yeah. So we will talk about it towards the end. We just expand it. INEPF, where exactly coming? You just scroll down and yeah, provident fund contribution details. You can double click on that.
Okay.
Okay. So here, if you're not seeing anything, just go back again.
Okay.
In the output, you can see output IT. So here you try to understand. I can see NPS is there, 5,000 that, okay. So because you put 10%, right? So from, okay.
Employer and employee.
Employee. So where are the PF thing? Can you see that?
So I'm going a little bit down, sir.
Yeah. I can see BPF, voluntary provident fund basis. It should be /3F series. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So you can see all the entire series you can, which is starting with /3F. Okay.
Yes.
So starting with your /3FA. Okay. So these are the series for your provident fund. Okay. So you do not have to remember all these base types. It is always better only the series. Okay. If you can remember, that is well and good. Okay. So that during your support phase or your implementation you will not be getting that much thing. So during your support, suppose you are working in a support project and the employee had a query, he is having some issue related to PF. Directly you can jump into the 3F series. You do not have to log everything directly. You know the function, INEPF, go inside the INEPF, go to output, go to /3F series blindly. Okay. Then here you can see all this amount. Okay. So you can see there are different amount. You can see, so all this amount will be discussing, okay, one by one. Okay. So before we go there, you just take a snapshot of it. Otherwise we can open a new session. Okay. So then we'll be trying to understand the now configuration part. Okay. So now this is successfully, you understood how these waste types, secondary waste types have been generated. Now, first of all, you as a business user, you maintained Infotype 587. Then after simulation, we understood what are the different secondary wastage have been generated. Okay, so with that understanding, now we will be going deeper into the configuration part. Okay, any questions here? Just we are doing hands-on. Okay, so we will be understanding more detail whenever we will be going to configuration. So now go to configuration SM30, and I will be just in the chart window. I'll be sequentially typing those table name as usual, and you will be navigating to those tables. Okay, so now the first table goes for the Provident Fund Trusts. It is very important during your implementation. V_T7 INF1. Okay, INF1. Yeah. So this is the first table. Go there. So what we do, this is the master list of your all of your PF trusts. Okay, all the Provident Fund trusts are maintained here in this particular table. I will have to maintain. You can remove those Chinese name wherever I saw those Chinese name, I was coming there. Okay, so anyway, okay, so here you can see we have all these series. Okay, all the trust we have, the specific trust whatever we are having. Okay, at the same time, so how we'll understand which is what? Okay, so we have taken RPF1, right? Just select one of the RPF1, select one RPF1, that particular line, particular row, and there is a like envelope kind of things in the top. You just select that. Wherever it is written, no, not that one, just before of that, just last one in that same row. Click the last one. Yeah, click that. Yeah, click that. So from here, you will be getting the address details of your RPF office. So basically here, nobody has mentioned anything here. Okay. Suppose that will be more applicable. Suppose you are having your own trust. Okay. So let's say you are having your own Provident Fund trust in Guntur. Okay. The organization is having its own trust and they are maintaining themselves. Okay. So in those cases, you can maintain all these details like house number, street number, country, postal code, everything. Okay. So all these things you can maintain. Okay. That is applicable for here. So those cases here also it can be maintained, but somehow somebody has not maintained this RPF SIM trust details. Okay. So here country, ID, region, all these things you can maintain. So that you can try. So that will be an activity for you. Okay. So the first activity for today's session is you have to create your own first activity. I'm just typing it out. You have to create your own trust. Create.
Yeah.
Yes. So you have to create your own trust, like own PF trust. Okay. So here you can't do it. Okay, like this you can't create. So first for that you have to close it and just close it. I will tell you. You have to start from scratch.
Such terms here, there one box field.
Yeah. So from here you have to click the new entries. Okay. So in the top you have a new entries. Okay. That you can choose and all the details you have to fill up. Okay. So in that, this is the process you have to follow. Okay. Okay. So now you can, that you will be doing. Okay. That is better if you can copy this one and then all these waste types will be copied. Okay. So here you can see in the, go to the trust type. You can copy one, click copy edge. And in this RPF one, you can put it like ZPF one, GPF one, you can put it. And you can give some meaningful name.
Okay, sir.
Yes. So in this case, your trust type will be different. Just click that trust IP. RPFC Regional Provident Fund Commissioner or exempted trust or excluded trust. Okay, so there are different three types of trust you will be having. Okay, so what are these three? What is the key difference? Again, that is a task for you, because this is the second task. What is the difference between these three? You have to search and you have to make a note of it. Okay, so what are the difference between these three trusts? Okay, difference between three types of trust. Okay, so that you'll be getting easily from the PF website. Okay, so here you can choose to use your exempted trust. Okay,
Second one, counting.
second one you can try. Okay,
Okay.
so for what happens generally, for exempted trust, you have to put your own waste types, okay, and which are actually copied from the model waste types. Okay, so here you can't use all these things, class 3F1, 3F2, 3F3. Okay, so you can go and you can have your own model waste type. So you can just type out one of the search for MF10. Search for MF10. I will tell you. There will be a model waste type. Ideally, you will be copying that model waste type and you'll be creating your own waste types. Then you have to put it here. Okay. But for the time being, I'm just
So
telling you.
we can copy the model waste types also. No, sorry,
MF10.
technical waste types also.
Yes, MF10, not MPF10, MF10.
Okay, sorry.
You'll not be getting because the country grouping is wrong. Country grouping, you have to select 40. In the top, there is a triangle. Reverse triangle is there. Just select that. Country grouping 40. And waste type you directly put there. MF10.
Yes.
Yes. Now you should be able to get it. Got it?
Yes.
This is employee PF contribution. EE means employee. Okay. So in this way, you will be understanding EE, that is your employee PF contribution. Similarly, just go to the next one. Next page, I will tell you. In the slash 3F2, instead of that, you have to put MF20. So this is employee PF voluntary contribution.
Second one.
You always choose country grouping 40 and the waste type is MF20.
MF20.
Yeah. So what is this? Employee BPF contribution. This is also an employee. Wherever it is written EE means employee. Okay. Employee BPF contribution.
Yes, sir. ER means employer.
Yes, yes. So you choose this. Similarly, go to the third one.
Okay.
So we have 7, right? Total 7 columns. Okay. The third one is MF30. Put it MF30 there.
Yes,
Then
sir.
fourth one is MF40, MF40. So did you understand what is the third one?
Yes. Sorry, sir. Sorry. Sorry.
So MF30 is your employer PF contribution. Okay. So it is also written here in the column also, tables header column also, you can see it is written ER PFC means employer PF contribution. Okay. So yeah. So ER means employer. So employer will be also contributing. Okay. That is MF30. Okay. Now the fourth one will be coming MF40.
MF40.
Yeah. In fact, if you are doing, you're using standard one, you do not have to configure this. Okay, only in case exceptions, I'm just telling. It is an employer pension contribution. Okay, MF40. Now, So we have chosen the exempted trust, right? In this case. So,
Yes, sir.
so now we are going for the fifth one. Sorry, the fourth one or fifth one is this? EDLIC.
This one,
Fifth one. Fifth one.
Fifth one, right? Yeah. So in this case, the fifth one will be using MF70. Yeah. So I will just talk a little bit about it. Okay, what is this EDLIC? Because it is little tricky. Okay, so you can see some contribution is value is written EDLI contribution multiplied by 1 lakh. Okay. So what is this? So EDLI stands for Employees Deposit Linked Insurance. So it's a kind of an insurance. So EDLI, we call it EDLI. Okay. So this field will contain the wage type which is used for EDLI charges. What is an EDLI? So EDLI is basically employees deposit linked insurance. Okay, so it is an insurance payment that is linked to the average balance in the provident fund account of the employee. Okay, so it is a kind of an insurance payment which is linked to whatever the average balance you are having for the provident fund. Okay, so that will be linked to this insurance payment, and this amount, why this insurance is required? So the amount is payable so that employee's nominee, in case of any mishappening happening to the employee, okay, in case of employee's death or anything like that, the employee is payable. This amount is payable to the employee's nominee or the legal heir in the case of employee's death. Okay, that is the purpose of this insurance. So that is the conceptual point of view. Now, technically, you have to enter this MF70. Okay, so you can choose the fifth one. Yeah, enter MF70.
Okay.
Yeah.
And is it a constant value? Or?
Sorry?
Constant.
Which one?
Is it a constant value? Employee deposit linked insurance? Like
we'll be coming to that. So those details will be coming to that. What are the rate we'll be discussing. Okay. So now the EDLIA wage type. So basically, what is this EDLIA? So it is saying EDLI only, but what are the administrative charges we are having? That thing will be coming here. Okay. So here you can choose. Okay. EDLIA. You can choose MF80. Okay. Is it a little slow, the system, or? It's still loading.
Yes, sir.
So what you can do, so this series, so I will just, if a little bit slow, then I will tell you. EDLIA wage type, the model wage type will be MF80. Okay, so after MF70, it is the MF80. It will be your EDLIA. So after doing that, again the PF administrative wage type also, it will be your MF90. Okay, so MF90 will be your PF administrative wage type. Okay. So these two you can note it down. Okay, maybe you can practice it later on. Okay, if the system is getting slow. Okay. And the last one, EPGCR WT, I have not used. Okay, so this one I need to figure it out if there is any model wage type is there or not. Okay, so this one I'm just making a note of it. If anything I found out. Okay, because last time when I did, actually it was I never used it. Okay. So I need to find out any model wage type for it. Up to this, it is clear why we are doing it.
Yes, sir. Okay. Yes, sir. It's clear.
Because configuration is easy, but you have to understand why we are doing it. Okay, so then only you will be helpful. It will be helpful for you. So ideally you can do, so like whatever this standard waste type which I told you for this MF series, okay? So what you can do now, or Srikant, you just put it MF star. MF star, you put just put do not put 80, just put star, then we will be seeing what are the series is there. Put star there, and you just click the tick or enter. Okay, so you can see total 9 entries are there. Okay, so the 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, no, 60 is not there. 10, 20, with whatever we have used, so you can compare to that. Okay, and yeah, so these are the things we have. We have admin charges, code reduction, MFWF, MFIN, final serve penalties. So you can take a snapshot of it. Okay, so like MF10, so in your document, then later point of time you can copy from this, and you can use this as a those custom waste type you can use in the configurations. Okay, so that you can take.
Okay.
So up to this is clear. So now I think we have less than 1 minute. So now after the second session,
Yes,
this session, after this first session, we'll be now continue with the second session. Some of the other configurations are there, which I'll be talking about. Okay. So let's meet now after 1 minute.